for the politicians in India at that time, what were how did they sell the idea of the war, do you think?
Well, actually, the war had a huge amount of political support in India, and I think, one of the things that I do stress when I'm talking about the book, even in India, is the idea that, Indian agitation for independence it doesn't come fully formed as an idea. It's something that develops over time, and what happens during the First World War is most politicians aren't really looking at independence as the ultimate aim. What they want is dominion status, as the white dominions have it. So they want a status like Australia and Canada, and they feel that the war is important in showing that India is loyal and India is capable and can aspire to that status. So that's how they sell it, really.
And the soldiers themselves, were they regulars or volunteers, and why did they sign up to go to this war thousands of miles away?
Yeah, well, the soldiers were volunteers. I mean, at that time, the Indian Army was the largest volunteer army that the world had ever seen up until that point. So you have about 600,000 soldiers, but in total about 1.5 million Indians participated in the war, combatants and non-combatants. And I think their reasons for fighting are very varied. I mean, obviously economic reasons are important, but for the money they get paid, but also I think this idea that this is an honorable profession, that they're going to get honor, they're going to get recognition. They like the idea of belonging to a regiment. It gives them a sense of community. Also the idea of martiality, that they are fighterly people, and this is something that's very much an idea that the British used. They recruit very selectively from certain parts of the country.
Hill areas, Sikhs and so on.
Yeah, so what the British call the martial races, arguing that there's some races in India that are good for fighting, and that's primarily where they recruit from, but that also plays into self-perception that these communities have. So they want to show that they're good at fighting, and that's another reason why they end up joining the army continually. Even till today. So you do have a disproportionate number of Sikhs, for example, joining the army, because that's just the tradition in certain villages and towns.
And from the Punjab region, maybe?
Yes, exactly. I think about almost 40%, if not more, of the army comes from just Punjab, which is one province in India, and the Sikhs, who at that time are only something like 2% of the population, provide something like 12% of our army soldiers. So it again goes to show you how that idea of martiality impacts volunteerism.